Hello. So, it's time for week 1 of UBL Season 13. This time we're up against Blue and the Splishy Splashers, a new coach for this season, and they've got a really interesting team. They've got Ogre Cornerstone, Excadrill, Azelf, Napoleon, Hippowdon, Moltres, Knucklestack, Tornadus Therian, Iron Valiant, Bullfish, and Grookey. So, a lot to consider here. They've got really fast offense. Excadrill and Sand will do a lot of damage. Tornadus Therian's a very fast Tailwind setup, much faster than my own in Zapdos. Iron Valiant's super quick, especially with a boost to speed. Even things like Azelf and Ogre Cornerstone are faster than most of my team. So, it's going to be very tricky. Now, if you're watching this, then the season is over, but I'm actually recording this on time, which is making a change. Making it as the battle before the battle actually happens, so yeah. This is where you're coming for the meat and potatoes this time. Not the meat and potatoes. This is where you're coming for the extra in-depth, spicy, why does my brain work like this sort of content. Because all of my matches will be uploaded on the UBL VGC channel, but this is going to be all the really in-depth theory team builder talk, and you still get to watch the battle. Which means the video is going to be like twice as long. So a lot of theory went into this because I've had a lot of time to think about this. We're playing a little bit late, just because of how our schedules work. The big thing though is Trick Room and their lack of really good answers for it. They only have one Pokemon that's slower than Ursaluna, and that's Powdon. That's it. So, and sure, it can take hits, but it's not really going to do a lot back. Otherwise, their other slowest Pokemon is Empoleon. So I went into the tank, and I tried to think of every single way they could stop Trick Room, or fight within it. And the things that I came up with were, my first thought was Fake Out Grookey. I think there's actually a decent chance that Grookey actually comes here. Because of Fake Out and potential Grassy Collide into Ursaluna. The other big thing is they have two very fast Imprisoned Trick Roomers. Both Iron Valiant and Azelf get Imprisoned Trick Room, and I want to make sure that I am ready for both of those. Notably, Azelf is also very interesting because it has Levitate, and something to note is I have to be aware of every single Levitate user because of their ability to Terastallize. If they are able to Terastallize and Terra Ghost, they can be immune to both of Ursaluna's Dual Stab. And I think Azelf has the potential to do that here. Either Azelf or Iron Valiant could come here to imprison Trick Room, as that could be one of their ways to stop it. I think the worst case lead for me is actually an imprisoned Trick Roomer next to Ogre Cornerstone, but we'll have to see how things go. There's possibilities that I can play through it, but it just means that I need to play quite carefully around that possibility. But the thing is as well, if they go all in on stopping Trick Room, and then I bring fast stuff, because I can bring fast stuff here, then they can really easily lose, and I think that's the really difficult part for them, because they also have no Spectre Resist, so, you know, they've got to be really aware of that as well. So, the last thing that I want to mention is Empoleon. Now, while Empoleon isn't slower than Ursaluna, it can be with an Iron Ball. And I think Iron Ball Empoleon is something I want to consider, because if it is, and it's slower, then it can actually take out Ursaluna, and that could be very, very problematic. So I want to make sure that I at least have that on my radar. I suppose I didn't mention, but Knucklestack could come here and Terror and be annoying, but I've got so much pressure for it in terms of just raw damage that I don't think it's got time to do the things it needs to do. with that preamble out of the way, let's go into the team itself. Starting off with a Pokemon that's very likely to be leading in almost all circumstances, Clefable. So Clefable is going to be a very standard Follow Me, Protect, Heal Pulse, and Moonblast set with Mental Herb, Unaware, Terra Water, and max HP, max defense bold with 4 in special attack. We've got no speed IVs on here, and that is because of Hippowdon. Clefable will actually outspeed a Hippowdon that is running 31 speed IVs, but if the Hippowdon is running 0 speed IVs, then it will actually, the Hippowdon will be slower than us, which means they'll be faster in Trick Room. Something that I want to at least keep in mind. It also means I'm not speed tying Empoleon unless it's min speed and not Iron Ball for some reason. I've gone with max defense because a lot of the main things that I'm worried about this thing is taking are quite physical, notably Oakapon Cornerstone, but also there's things like Hippowdon and Excadrill, which can be quite scary. Physical via Iron Valiant as well. Part of this reasoning as well is in case they want to try and go for double Earthquake, maybe an Air Balloon, Excadrill, or Hippowdon, and double Earthquake to try and take us out as another possibility. But we do take that combination. The only real thing that they can OHKO us with is a Adamant Life Orb Iron Head from Excadrill. Has a chance of OHKOing. So that's why we've got the Terra Water to try and take that hit. Otherwise, they've got Terra to OHKO us, and we might be fine otherwise. Because unless I think otherwise, one of my very likely turn 1 plays, especially into what they can have to stop Trick Room, such as Fake Out or even some Imprison stuff, is just to double protect turn 1. And scout what they want to do rather than trying to risk things. Double Protect turn 1 can give us a lot of safe opportunities, and even if they have setup, Unaware keeps us safe from that. So if they want to try and get greedy with like a Fake Out Swords Dance, then we've got the Unaware to make sure that that isn't an issue. Now it does mean we do take Sand Chip, but otherwise I think Clefable can do a lot of work here in supporting us get a potential speed control, or even setting up for a Pokemon. Next up is our Trick Room setter, Rhinoculus. We are a Life Orb Magic Guard with Terra Fairy, Psychic, Shadow Wall, Trick Room, and Protect. Max HP, 76 defense, 108 special attack with a Quiet Nature, and 68 special defense. I've got notes on the side as well, which is something I am referring to, but the special attack here is to make sure it can OHKO a no bulk Azelf / bring it down to Sash. Now, I could have gone for more special attack, and I even could have gone for Terra Dark or Terra Ghost to boost up this damage even more. However, if it's going to be a Sash Azelf, then that doesn't matter anyway. It's either going to be, I expect, Sash, or be running a ton of bulk, and I don't really want to be running any more special attack, especially when the special defense allows us to do the following. The defense lets us take 2 Adamant Excadrill Earthquakes, which is extremely nice, and the special defense allows us to take 2 Shadow Balls from Iron Valiant most of the time. It would need 2 max rolls from Timid Valiant to get that kill. So that bulk really helps us out, and we still have a lot of damage output. The big reason for Psychic and Shadow Ball as my options is because I want to be taking those Imprisoned Trick Roomers out as quickly as possible. If they want to be Imprisoned Trick Rooming, I want to be able to have the damage to take those Pokemon out. So Psychic is really good for the Iron Valiant, and then Shadow Ball is really good for the Azelf. And both of those will get OHKO'd, apart from, having a Sash, which is really, really nice. I would expect Iron Valiant to be boost speed here anyway, to make sure it does outspeed some of my faster Pokemon. So if they're going to have a Sasha, it's probably going to be Azelf to do it. I will also be able to, especially if it's Iron Valiant as the option, I should be able to scout out its moveset, which is really, really nice. Because if it's going to be in Trick Room, it most likely will have Protect and then one other move. And with my lead of Reuniclus plus the Fable, I should be able to scout out if it's got Protect by trying to click it and then Imprison telling me I can't, or even trying to click Moonblast and then Imprison telling me I can't. So I should be able to figure out its moveset from there and then go from there in the matchup, which is really, really nice. Setting up Trick Room for Reuniclus is really nice. I didn't really talk about it, but Heal Pulse can keep the Reuniclus alive, especially if they're going for a lot of spread attacks. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with that. Terra Fairy is just kind of the general good defensive typing. Takes the potential dark attacks such as knockoffs coming its way really well. So yeah, Terra Fairy just seems like the best pick here. Finally, the final part of our Trick Room mode is, of course, Ursaluna. Now, while I didn't expect to be bringing Ursaluna, you know, to be this Gus Flame or Trick Room sweeper every single week, here it looks too good to pass up on. They really don't have a lot for it. Even without going Adamant Max or Brave Max in this case, we still OHKO most things. To talk about the spread a little bit, as I mentioned, we've got Flamor, we've got Facade, Headlong Rush, Throat Chop, and Protect. With max HP 108 attack with the Brave Nature, and then 148 special defense. That bulk allows us to take a modest Hydro Pump from Empoleon, as well as 1 round of Burn, which means we can potentially heal Pulse, back up our Ursaluna right afterwards, which is really, really nice. Gives Ursaluna an extra turn with life support and potentially able to take things out. Throat Chop is here for the potential Terror Ghost as Elf. Otherwise, Facade and Headlong Rush will do massive, massive damage. I would have liked to run High Horsepower to keep Ursaluna's bulk in check, but because I've dropped all that attack, I can't. High Horsepower doesn't OHKO everything. As a result, I believe. What was it? I don't think it OHKO'd Empoleon, actually. If I didn't run Headlong Rush. It would do less damage into Knuckle Stack, of course, as well. I think even Excadrill had some chances to live if it was super bulky. Even Ogerpon Cornerstone, which I've got to use Headlong Rush into as well. Obviously, Ogerpon Cornerstone has Sturdy, but, you know, a little bit of chip on it should be able to take care of things. So, this is going to be our predominant mode, especially in Game 1, but we have some faster stuff to be bringing as a finisher in our Trick Room game plan, as well as potential fast mode stuff. First, which I want to talk about, which is I think the most likely to be coming to Game 1, is our Zapdos. We are Charty Berry with Static, Thunderbolt, Heatwave, Tailwind, and Protect, Terra Steel, max HP, 20 defense, 84 special attack with a modest nature, 4 special defense, and 148 speed. Now to refer to my notes. So, because I made this team actually a few days ago, but I've just gone around to recording it. So, Zapdos has enough speed to outspeed Booster Speed Valiant in Tailwind, which is really nice. And the little bit of bulk that we've got, especially in that defense option, that defense stat, means that with the Charty Berry, we can go take an Ivy Cudgel from Ogerpon Cornerstone, and then we have enough health that if we need to, we can Terra and take a second one, which is really, really nice. That's why we've got the Terra Seal. I wanted something that could resist Rock, and all of the Rock resist options had downsides. Fighting means I'm weak to Valiant. Steel means I'm weak to Excadrill, and then Ground means I'm weak to the Power Whip from Cornerstone. So, and Fighting is also just not a great defensive typing. It would be the one that's least likely to come up against Ogerpon Cornerstone or Excadrill, which are two Pokemon that I would expect to be out against Zapdos, but at the same time, it really doesn't offer a lot of defensive utility, which Zapdos is super bulky this week, so I want to make sure I've got that option. Thunderbolt is just going to do really solid damage. In fact, the special attack investment that we have means that we should be OHKOing the Tornadus that they should have if they are only outspeeding our Salazzle. If they've got enough speed to outspeed a Salazzle and then a little bit of bulk left over, then we can OHKO it with Thunderbolt. Heat Wave will be 2-hit KOing Excadrill, which is great, and doing decent spread damage as well. If they aren't packing Tailwind, or they just aren't going for Tailwind as part of a fast mode, then we can use Tailwind in a fast mode ourselves. But this is also a really good Pokemon to be finishing up the game with. After cleaning out all the real things that can tech it, we can use Zapdos to clean up with its bulky nature and take things out. But this also could be part of a fast mode, and that's where our next couple of Pokemon come into play, starting with Salazzle. We are max speed, max special attack because we have to be. This Pokemon outspeeds Iron Valiant by 1 point, which is why I actually expect them to be booster speed on the Iron Valiant, because otherwise this thing outspeeds and OHKOs it, no questions asked. So, yeah. Fake Out, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb and Taunt, Focus Sash, Oblivious, Terra Flying to be immune to those ground attacks, max HP, no, max HP, max speed, max special attack, timid, hasty nature even, just, you know, for that tad bit more damage on those Fake Outs, and 4 attack investment. Nothing too crazy here. This is offensive, fast ways to make sure that we can get up our Trick Room, or set up our Tailwind, or set up our last Pokemon. As I say, the fact that this thing is faster than a lot of their Pokemon is really nice. The only thing that naturally outspeeds it, without any boosts, is Tornado Therian. So Salazzle can put on a lot of potential offensive pressure in faster modes, or if I think that Fake Out is going to be a much more reliable way to set up Trick Room. Last but not least, a Pokemon surprisingly that was not on the original team, and that is Spectra. I talked about how good Spectra seemed in this matchup, but I really wasn't comfortable bringing it at first. In my mind, I actually wanted to bring Tauros Aqua to this matchup, due to its Intimidate and good offensive typing. However, due to its speed, it really wasn't able to perform. With Pokemon outspeeding it such as Ogerpon, Iron Valiant, Azelf and Tornadus, it really was going to be struggling. So even with something like a Choice Scarf, which was something I very heavily considered, I decided I should have a more solidified fast mode focusing around Spectra. Now we've got the spell tag item, Terra Fairy and Grimnay of course, with Shadow Ball, Draining Kiss, Nasty Plot and Protect. Very standard stuff in terms of moveset, but the spread is a little bit more interesting. We've got enough speed to outspeed Tornadus Therian with that timid 188 speed, 164 special attack, and then 76 HP, 76 defense, and 4 in special defense. The reason for this is, turning to my notes, we can take a Power Whip from Ogerpon Cornerstone. That is the reason for the defense investment, and then the rest in special attack. If we get a Nasty Plot off, which could be easily doable thanks to our Follow Me support, Fake Out support, we can really start taking things out. The spell tag is here because Life Orb was taken, of course, on the Reuniclus. That thing needs to make sure it's got its damage output. And for the most part, Spectra is just going to be clicking Shadow Ball anyway, unless it chooses to click Draining Kiss, maybe even with that Terra Fairy. Again, great defensive typing and offensive typing for Spectra here, to maybe heal itself up a little bit while picking something off. Anything that isn't really super bulky will get OHKO'd by a +2 Shadow Ball. Obviously, Ogerpon's got Sturdy, but if it's got a Sturdy broken from a Fake Out or something, that I guess they got greedy enough. Like, if Sturdy's broken, then it'll die. Excadrill will die, Azelf will die, Empoleon won't, Hippowdon will if it's physical defensive to take on the Ursaluna. Moltres could live, but it's a little unlikely. I believe the Knuckle Stack will live because of Purifying Salt. Tornadus will die, Valiant will die, I'm pretty sure Quillfish will die, and Grookey will most likely die as well. And you've got to remember, even if they don't die to +2, knock out something else and get that +3 thanks to the Grenade, and then things really will be dying. So, that is going to be the team for week 1. If you watched the original match on the UBL VGC channel, then you know you get to see the match again, but otherwise, for those who haven't and want to just get that super in-depth team analysis, as well as the battle will follow shortly. At the time of recording this, we're playing in about 12 hours, so excited to do so. Playing a brand new coach, I'm not sure of their VGC experience, but I will treat them with the utmost respect, because you never know. You never know what kind of player we're dealing with, and I'm really excited to play them regardless. So, that is going to be it, and I will see you guys for the match. Alright, here we are. Is that a bit loud? Yeah. Add. Also a bit loud on my end. But yeah. Time, week 1. Let's do this. Change this season is gonna be interesting. No sand at all. All my calcs and stuff are on another window. No sand at all. Aqua stack actually does come. Wasn't sure if it would. Yeah, no hippo, no excadrill. No Grookey. But Grookey might. No Torn actually. Interesting. But we've both. They've gone with Moltres over Torn, which is interesting. So, worst case for me here is Ogerpon plus one of the Sash Imprisoned Trick Roomers here. I would guess that it's Sash Azelf rather than Sash. It's Sash Azelf. So, I'm going to go with my classic Trick Room lead to start. Ursaluna, and then I probably want to make sure I've got a special attacker. I mean, all of these are special attackers, so. Would I rather have Spectria? I might honestly want to have Spectria just to make sure I've got enough damage for the Knuckle stack at the end. Yeah, I will go Spec. I was going to go Zapdos, but. Alright, this is the worst case. So the question is, do I start going for this off-rip? Does the double up of Moonblast plus Shadow Ball actually get Ogerpon? Probably not. No, it definitely doesn't. Okay. I think I should just double protect turn 1. It might, because it might be something different. Yeah, it's Helping Hand. It's not what I thought at all. It wasn't Imprisoned Trick Room. Helping Hand Shadow Ball. I probably don't take that with Clefable, but that's fine. See, that's why I said to myself I should just double protect turn 1, because, like, just figuring out what they want to do is really good. There's non-imprisoned Trick Room. which is really nice. You just go for Mystical Power, and then Charm. That's perfectly fine with me. Yeah, I just want to try and get rid of this. I want to at least break the Ogerpon Sash. I'm just gonna keep clicking follow me. That did like a lot less than it should have actually. That's like really bulky. That's got Spadef investment. Like a good chunk of it as well. Like that could be like max special defense Ogerpon. So there's no guarantee that another Psychic KOs, so I'm gonna try and Shadow Ball here. Ooh, it's Conceive. Okay. Go for a Horn Leech, which doesn't kill. I got 2 turns in Trick Room with old Blood Moon here. So I'm gonna go for headlong into Ogerpon. They could switch into Moltres, but that's fine. And I'll Shadow Ball the Azel. Because this should kill. Really? Wow. That's really rough. Okay, I think I need to save this for the end then. Just so it's bulky and can kind of clean up if needs be. So we're going to bring in this, and the Azelf just protected. We know this thing's full moveset actually can't protect, which is really nice. And I don't want Thingy getting hit by a Shadow Ball, so I'm going to take out this Azelf. Nice. We take no damage, and now Specs in. It is booster speed, that is to be expected. So I'm going to Terra Fairy, because I think this is the only thing I'm terroring at this point, and I am just going to try and take out this Ogerpon. And I guess Trick Room, right? We do take the knock, gets rid of our spell type, but that's fine. Get our special attack increase and set up that Trick Room once again, because we have Speed Val. And the last is Ogerpon. So, Empoleon. So Empoleon's something I do have to consider in terms of, there's also on Terra, yes, which is something worth noting. I'm worried about an offensive Empoleon, but I do have the health on Ursaluna still, which is really nice. They haven't Terra'd yet, but so I think Shadow Ball's like kind of safe. Eva could have Protect. I think going into Empoleon's better, because I say Val, wow, Val is gonna die. Aqua Ring, very interesting. Ooh, that is that a lucky Spadef dropped? Because that's a lot of damage now that that thing can do. Oh, it's okay. Okay, that means Ursaluna can OHKO it, like, no problem. Especially because they've Terra'd now. Does nothing. Holy. Take out Val. And I'm just not going to let up the pressure. Alright, so that's game one. So the plan was to go for Helping Hand Shadow Ball. But it looks like there's no Imprison anywhere. Very interesting. They did bring Terra Normal, which does make sense. I could completely switch it up now and just like say I'm gonna go fast mode and see what you do about it. It is booster speed, so Salazzle isn't just an immediate answer to it. The Ogerpon doesn't have Protect either. I'm just gonna go Trick Room again. And I think like Spectrum makes the most sense. They really weren't able to do a lot of damage to it, which is kind of wild. Like, those Shadow Sneaks were doing nothing. Like, I get they're not stabbed, but like... yeah, they should have been doing, like, more. Like, did they... I'm, like, wondering if they forgot to EV them mons. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Because, like, Shadow Sneak should be doing 35 to 40. And, like, it did 25. Like, it should not have done that. That needs to be minus attack. Okay, so they go Val this time. Did we only see Shadow Sneak out of them? Shadow Sneak knockoff. There's no way you imprison Trick Room at this point, so I am just gonna follow me Trick Room. If you're not Shadow Sneak knockoff, imprison Trick Room. There are a few ways that I thought they could stop Trick Room, and I did think imprison Trick Room was like one of the most likely. I did have a game plan for it, so like I'm not super worried. Like I wasn't super worried if it did come. I just was like expecting it to come. We know the Ogerpon doesn't have a move to hit us with, so... well, it doesn't have Protect, notably, so I'm going to double that slot. That probably doesn't die. I just don't want this Val going for Protect, because I don't know if it has it yet. The main reason why I'm hesitant is because it did so little that makes me think it's probably got, like, bulk. And I do have the investment to Oko. Well, I mean, this Oko's... Let's just fill up my attacks and make sure I'm safe. Okay. 48. We do Oko Val. Really nice. So I'm hoping that a double up here is enough to take the thing out. So we didn't see the Terror from Azelf. We do know it's got Protect though. So I am going to double up on this Ogerpon here. They do go for Helping Hand. Hopefully this KOs. Nice. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, this matchup was super, super rough for them. I can go for Heal Pulse here. I haven't seen what this Moltres has yet, but I'm just going to click a thingy into it. I assume it's got Tailwind, Fire Move, at least. Or it could have Protect, it could have a million things. As of, it's also Terra Normal. Good to know. But yeah, there's the Heal Pulse. They do miss. It is unfortunate for... Wow. That is... I mean... In fairness, like... They give me an opportunity to, like... Trick Room again. Like, I've got Blood Moon in the back. I would get at least one turn with it. I know I don't die to Shadow Ball here. So I can just make sure I'm safe enough to go for one more Follow Me Trick Room. And just guarantee my win. Dang, Marina Plus really putting the shit. This Luna really didn't even get to come out and play. It did 60% to an Ogerpon and then switched to help. Alright, yep, so they take that out. Trick Room goes up. And let's have Soluna do his thing. Throat Chop is better. And I was about to no, Assault's better, so. So that's gonna do it, wow. GG's Blue. They were a newer coach, I wasn't sure they were a VGC experience, so I treat them with the utmost respect in building. And they brought some really, really bulky Pokemon, and understandably brought a lot of Terra Normal to stop Spectria, but the Bear also was a problem, and apparently Uniclus as well. They just couldn't kill it like a Mons, because I think they just invested so much in bulk, they just didn't have damage. Because that Ogerpon was at least max per death. At least. But, yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you very much for watching. We're 1-0 now. So let's see if we can keep up this momentum going into the future weeks. See you guys next time. Peace.